Hi there, and welcome to the Y Factor podcast.
Wait, sorry, what are we talking about?
The Y Factor podcast. It's where young elected politicians, or YEPs, share how they're making real changes across Europe.
All right, I'm in. Let's hear what the future sounds like.
Hi everyone, and welcome to YEPs on the Ground, the podcast that brings young voices to the heart of Europe. Today we're joined by Francesco Di Giuseppe, a young elected politician from Abruzzo, in Italy. Today we have a full Italian episode, both host and guest. And he's working here at the European Committee of the Region with the ECR political group. Francesco, it is an honor to have you here today, and a huge thank you from the whole Y Factor team.
Hello, and thank you for having me. It's a truly honor for me to be here and be a part of the team and also share my journey with you.
Thank you. Before starting with our questions, I would like to ask you a couple of things just to allow me and our listeners to know you a little bit more. First of all, I want to ask you if you have a motto in your life, something that guides you inside and outside of politics. And secondly, do you remember the first time you felt European, like part of our union?
Yeah, my motto is inspired by the ancient Athenian statesman Pericles. Know what to do, be able to explain it to others, and be beyond reproach. This is become my daily compass, a blend of vision, clarity, and consistency. It's a simple but demanding philosophy that I try to embody every day in my own way. As for feeling European, it's not just a sentiment for me, it's one of the pillars of my political engagement. I've always believed, along with my group, the idea of a Europe of people, a Europe that respects identities while working in a genuine cooperation. That wasn't a sudden realization, rather it's a deep conviction that has matured over the years, starting with political debate, through European projects, and finally into my institutional commitment. For me, being European means building bridges between territories, histories, and cultural, without losing our own roots or identity. What we have dreamed of and still dream of today is a Europe that is political giant and a dwarf in bureaucratic matters, exactly the opposite of what, unfortunately, is still on it.
Thank you, Francesco. That's very interesting. Now I think we can move more to a bit of a more political part of our episode. This is why I want to ask you a bit more about your political role at the local level and how it connects with the European level, so with your work at the European Committee of the Regions. And then if you'd like, you could walk us through a project or an initiative that you've been involved in and that had an impact on your community.
Certainly, at the local level, I serve as municipal councillor in Roseto degli Abruzzi, a beautiful seaside city along the Adriatic coast. Is the second largest city of the province of Teramo, in the central part of Italy. Roseto is most known for its beaches, for the long tradition that we have in terms of tourism, and a vibrant mix of agricultural and industrial activities. But above all, it's famous for its passionate love for basketball. Just a few days ago, our women's teams made history by winning the playoff final and securing the Serie A1 for the first time of the history. And meanwhile, the men teams is leading to earn a promotion in the Serie A2. In the municipal council, I sit on the opposition, where I focus on both oversight and constructive proposal. My key areas are public works, innovation policies, and sustainability. I also coordinate a networking of youth elected officials who drove my own experience, and I support them actively. And one of my main objectives is to make European opportunities more visible and accessible, especially in places where Europe is often seen as distant or abstract. At the European level, I'm one of the European young elected politicians, YEPs, of the European Committee of the Region, and actively contribute to effort aimed at the strengthening of the role of the commitment in European integration.
Nice. Thank you, Francesco, for sharing this with us. It's very interesting. For the next question, I would like to ask you something related to a topic that has been widely discussed in the past months. As a person who's very passionate about European political economy, European industrial polity, I hear at least once a day something related to European competitiveness, how to boost it, and how to restore the power that European industry used to have. We know by now that SMEs and young and new innovative business are crucial for the future of our union. But still today, young business leaders and innovative leaders find and encounter a huge number of difficulties, of barriers when trying to launch their venture in the European market. With that in mind, I would like to ask you what, in your opinion, are the biggest limits, the biggest barriers that young business leaders have to face every day, and what the EU could do to lower such barriers and create an environment that is welcoming and suitable to welcome new businesses and SMEs.
There are many challenges. First of all, is the access to credit that remains a serious issue. Young people struggle to earn the trust of the banking system, which stifles innovation and risk-taking. Many public calls for proposal are too complex or poorly designed for a small-scale startup. Second, bureaucratic fragmentation that makes life difficult. Every country has its own regulation rules, and those trying to grow on a European scale often find themselves lost in a maze of inconsistencies and unclear information. Then there's the double challenge of digital and green transition. These require advanced skill, new technologies, and substantial capital. But many young entrepreneurs start with no money. And what Europe should do is simplify and harmonize all the different regulation, strengthen direct funding for under 35 startups through more accessible funds, and invest in local ecosystem incubators, mentoring programs, co-working spaces, even in small villages, not only in big city.
Thank you, Francesco. I personally agree, and I find the idea of creating that kind of environment also in small realities, local and regional realities, not just in big cities, I think is crucial. And on that background, I want to ask you something a bit more personal, so a personal advice for young Europeans who want to enter the European business sector, they want to launch an initiative, an idea, a project. What would you advise them?
My first message is start, and start now. Even with small things, a cultural club, a neighborhood project, getting involved in your community. Change doesn't come with a title. It comes with the courage to step up and take responsibility. Study, collaborate, build networks. Europe is full of opportunities. Erasmus+, the European Solidarity Corps, Interreg, Life, Horizon, and more. But these tools require curiosity and persistence. And always remember, you are not alone. So if you want to start, reminder is that you can share your knowledge with other people.
Thank you. That sounds very inspiring, and I'm sure I'm going to help a lot of young Europeans. Now, you spoke about a number of projects, of initiatives that the European Union provides us young people to build connection, to know people outside the borders of our nations. So on that, I want to ask you, have you ever been involved in a project that was not strictly related to your nation, your reality, your municipality, but, I don't know, an interregional, a cross-national project?
At the moment, since I live in Brussels, I'm not actually involved in a local project, but in the past, I participated in a cooperation networking between Abruzzo, my region, specifically the municipality of Pineto, that it's really close to Roseto, with the Split Dalmatia region in Croatia and the city of Plovdiv in Bulgaria. The goal of this initiative was to promote sustainable tourism and rural development, particularly among young people. And thanks to this cooperation, we were able to exchange best practice on how to bring our people back to their hometown by supporting local food chains, digital tourism, and circular economy project. We organize a joint workshop for youth entrepreneurs between the three regions, and pilot mobility project between the three regions, and also an exchange between the three different cities.
That sounds very interesting and very in line with what we've discussed today. So I want to thank you personally and in the name of the whole Y Factor project for being with us today. Of course, a big thank you to our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want to know more about Francesco's work, you can find more information in the description of this episode. In the end, I want to make sure that you follow us on Instagram and you follow our next episode to find out who's going to be the next guest and the next host. Thank you again. Thank you, Francesco.